So here in Eclipse, I have nothing but a blank project. Well, the project is called, let's see, Viv's Explicit Intent Test. So here in my graphical layout, as you guys can see, it says hello world. There's actually nothing written inside. There's a main, right? So what I need to do is I need to make another activity first. So I'm gonna right click on this. I'm gonna say new, other, Android activity, click next, blank activity, click next, call it activity B. And now if you see the layout name, it looks pretty weird, activity underscore B. I'm gonna remove that, make it click next, click finish. So at this point, if you see my source folder inside, there are two activities, that is your main and your activity B. Now what I want to do is I want to call this activity B from my main activity. So let me actually open my main activity code and see. I'm going to remove this garbage. Alright, so when do you want to call the activity? That's one of the things. Now let's assume that we have a button, that we click on the button and the other activity is called. So we are going to do that. Alright, so first I'm going to go to my layout of my main activity, which is your activity underscore main.xml. I'm going to go there. I'm gonna add a button over here below this hello world. So the button is added. I'm gonna give it a name by saying click here. Next, I'm gonna use the Android on click attribute to decide which method should be called when the button is clicked. Now if you guys haven't seen how buttons work, you can go ahead and check my previous videos where I've talked about the view.onClick listener and the Android on click attribute. So if I say Android on click, so here I can simply say do something. That's the name of the method. So inside my main activity, I need to go and make this method do something, right? So I'm gonna say do something, control space, and I'm gonna make that method, right? So next, if I go and say public, I'll make this access public because Android system needs to see it, and it also needs to take a parameter which is going to be view v. This is the button which was clicked. Again, as I said, you guys can go ahead and check the previous vid of buttons if you have not seen this before. I'm not explaining how buttons work over here. Alright, next I'm gonna make an object of button by saying button B, simple. I'm gonna say B equals to find view by ID. I'm gonna link my XML button to my Java code by saying r.id dot the button ID which I gave, and I'm gonna simply press Ctrl 1 and add typecast to it because it returns in context. Basically, I need to convert it to a it returns a view. Basically, you need to convert it to a button. If you guys haven't seen the button vid, you can check it out over there. I've done all this in detail over there. So next, at this point, everything is set up. Now if my button gets clicked, this method do something will be called. Alright, so here what I need to do is, here is where I need to call my other activity. So first let us actually go and see what is there inside my activity B underscore XML. It says hello world. I don't want this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit the text over here by removing this string hello world and writing inside activity B. Alright. Now, this is not the recommended way. You should put this inside your strings.xml, but for simplicity I'm not doing that now. So here I'm gonna make an intent because I need to call the other activity. I'm gonna say intent I is new intent. Now as I told you, there are two things. One, you need to tell where you are currently. You're inside this class, that is your main activity, right? And then you need to tell what is the name of the class that should be called. So I can say activity B dot class. This is very important. Remember, you don't simply write activity B, you have to specify that dot class extension over here without fail. And then at this point it's gonna probably give me an error. You need to import this. I'm gonna press Ctrl 1 over here, and then bam, the import is done. You can go over here at the top and you can see android.content.intent, that's the class, right? And now I'll say start activity, control space. So here I have my start activity method. I'll simply pass I inside this and we are done. So let me actually go ahead and run this by saying select this on the left side, click run at the top, Android application, click OK. Alright, so here in my emulator my app is already running. As you guys see, there's hello world in my main and there's a click here button. If I click on this method do something will be called, right? And then I'll have my object created for this intent, and then if I say start activity I, it's gonna go ahead and actually start my activity underscore B. So let's actually see that in action by clicking here. Click over here, and bam, there you go, it says inside activity B. So it's working perfectly. There's another way of doing this. Let me actually go to Eclipse and show you that also. So here what I've done is I've supplied the context, which is your current place where you are. There's this and this activity B.class. There's another way I can actually do this. I'll remove both these statements. I'll keep this blank, right? Control S, go down, I'll say I.set class name, and there is this method which says string package name and string class name. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna put two empty strings first. Let's fill them out. So in the first place you tell the package, it is slidenode.weaves for my case, and then you tell the class, which is again you have to specify the full class name along with the package by saying slidenode.weaves.activity B. So here this is the same. Now let me actually go and run this the same time. I'm gonna select it over here, click run at the top. So there you go, our app is again running. This time we have used a different way of connecting both the activities, I'm gonna say click here, and again it's gonna set this package name, this class name, and bam, there you go, it says inside activity B. So as you guys see, it's working either way. You can use either that approach or you can use this approach, but remember, here you need to know which activity needs to be called. You need to know that this is activity B, right? So this works only within the same app. If you have cross application connectivity, then you have to use implicit intents. So I hope you guys have understood something out of this vid. In the next vid, I'm gonna talk about how to make this even better. Alright, so if you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know what you think about this. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Have a nice day.